Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl, I don't know if you know this, but making art is part of being human, right? And
Mhm.
also including myself. Many others may feel like leaving their mark on the world is very important, whether it's comedy, music, writing, or even making movies. So, simply put, art is a way to express ourselves and make our voices heard, right?
Oh, absolutely. And our next guest knows that every one of us has a voice, Quincy, and a perspective that matters. And sometimes people just need a platform and some direction to realize how to get their voice out there. Please welcome actor, filmmaker, and founder of Inclusion Films, Joey Travolta, and Inclusion Films editor, Bryce Jackson. Welcome to Main Street Living. Such a treat to have you both here.
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Joey, I'm going to start with you. You started Inclusion Films in 2007. Tell us exactly what does Inclusion Films do?
Uh, Inclusion Films is a practical film workshop that takes adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities through the whole process of making a film. We teach camera, lighting, editing, acting, writing, everything. And the point of that is to get people work in the film industry. And Bryce here, who we also do camps, which we're going to go over in another segment, but Bryce was a former camper. And that's how we introduced him in a 2-week program to the film business. And so that's why it's exciting for me, because he was a camper and now he works for me. And that met my goal. So
Wow. So Joey, why did you decide to start this organization?
I was a special ed teacher
Hmm.
back in 1970. I don't even want to say what year it was, but a long time ago. And I was always for the underdog. This is from my father. My dad was an inclusive man, hence the name of my company, Inclusion Films. And he was always thought it was important that somebody had a seat at the table.
Mhm.
And I started as a special ed teacher, and then I went into music, and then I went into acting, and then directing and producing. And I always wanted to get back to special ed. And while I was directing, I was getting young folks out of USC and UCLA and big film schools that didn't know their way around the set.
Mm.
I learned filmmaking from being an actor and being on the set and wanting to know what everybody did. And so around 2006, 2007, we came up with the program, and we were doing camps before that with kids on the autism spectrum, and it's just widened. And we have 7 studios around the state of California. So
That is awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And the hands-on learning, I think that is so important too, just to dive in there and see everything and do things firsthand. And Bryce, I know you've gone through the Inclusion Films workshops and you're now an employee. So why did you get involved with Inclusion Films and what have you learned during your time there?
So it's like Joey said, I was a camper. I was in the 2009 film camp, and in high school, I was a big sports fan. I really wanted to play sports. I wanted to be a professional hockey player. But when I started taking video production classes, that's when I got introduced to the film side of it. And after I got out of high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I heard that Inclusion Films had a big program for adults. So I enrolled there, and I was a student for 4 years until Joey and Dale decided to say, hey, we're going to bring you on as a full-time employee. And, it kind of went through there. So
Yeah, I mean, like Joey was just talking about you, Bryce, being a student of his. Now, Joey, what kinds of productions do you do with the workshops with your staff?
Well, basically what it is, and we do the same thing in the camps, they create a 20 to 30 minute script that becomes the lesson plan. While they learn all the camera, lighting, all those things, we develop a script. During that time, they make their own individual 2-minute films, but the one big film becomes the thesis film. And they could be anything from comedy to action. And every 6 months, we make a short film, and we have our own platform, Inclusion Networks, where people can see this and see the different work that they do. But in 2000, what year, 17 was it?
17,
We made our first feature film. No, 2019 it was released. Carol of the Bells, where 70% of the crew was made up of folks that we had trained, which that's really, really cool. And now we have the production company. And when we go out on the road, on this particular camp, we have 6 folks that have been through the program that are on the road, traveling, getting per diem, getting paid, and honing their craft. So
nice.
That's so amazing. And these workshops, where are they and how can people sign up and get involved? And are there other ways to get involved with inclusion films?
Yeah, so we have programs, and Bakersfield is the main one. That's Inclusion Films. Then my partner, Futures Explored, they're in Livermore, in Sacramento and Stockton, which is where we're at right now. And then Options for All is my other partner, and they're in San Diego, they're in San Bernardino, and in San Jose. So we have 7 territories, which is great because all the production that we get around the state, whenever we get a job, I can pull talent from the different studios because we have the setup there. We have pros there with our young folks that are learning their craft.
So many fun ways for people to get involved. And we have so much more to talk about with you guys. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break here on Main Street Living, but stay with us. We'll come back and talk about the Inclusion Films summer camps coming up next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Thanks for coming back with us. Before the break, we were talking with Joey Travolta. He's the founder of Inclusion Films, and we got a little bit of the background about the organization. Now let's delve a little bit deeper into the summer camps. Joey, welcome to the show. I see you have a few campers there with you. Can you introduce us to them?
Yes, we have Caitlyn here.
Hi.
Okay, and then we have Sophia.
Hi.
And this is Sophia's second time and Caitlyn's first time. So, yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to Main Street Living, ladies. You both look excited to be here.
I know they do. And it's so cool to be a part of this, going to a summer camp, but Inclusion Films summer camps. Joey, what exactly is involved in this? It sounds like it's a lot of work, but it also sounds like fun and a great opportunity.
Yeah, so it's a filmmaking camp. So the first thing that we do, we usually have 50 kids. We split them into 3 groups. Each group is responsible for making a short film. We usually have a theme. This year's theme is Pass It On, and that's doing good and kind things. So their film's got to revolve around that. Once we break them up, I start taking one at a time. I interview every one of the campers. Then on day 4, they have to pitch their projects, kind of like Project Greenlight, and I have to approve it. And sometimes I can be tough, and no, I'm never tough. Anyway, then they start making their films. They each get a day and a half to make their films, and then we do the wraparound. The wraparound is the Pass It On show. We have a host that interviews the kids and introduces the film. So the final product is a half-hour documentary and a half-hour show. That'll be called Pass It On. And that's basically what it is.
Nice. Well, Caitlyn, I have to talk to you for a second because you've only been at the camp for a couple of days, but you're clearly learning from one of the best. What are you liking about this so far?
I love all the things that they have taught me. They've taught me multiple things to do with the cameras, which I didn't know before I even came, how to cut, when the lighting is good, when the lighting is bad. I've learned a lot from just in 2 days that I didn't know before I even came. So this is a great opportunity. If I never even expected to go into acting until I saw this opportunity. And it's an amazing opportunity that I'm glad I took on. So, yeah.
Good.
Look at this, Joey and your team. You're inspiring everybody. I love to see that. And Sophia, I want to go over to you. You're my girl in pink. we're matchy today, which I love. We're on the same wavelength here. And have you been to this camp before? And if so, what have you learned and what's different this time?
I've been in this camp since last year during my fall break. What was different, it was about the questions being asked by Mr. Travolta that was asked
Well,
last year.
can I just say that she has a beautiful voice, and in the interview, I asked her to sing, and then we ended up putting music on it. So after this is all done, we have a red carpet screening where the families come and the teachers come, and it's a big event. It's really cool, and I was so proud of her with the singing, and your family was too, no?
Yeah, they were.
So, Joey, I have to ask you this. I mean, like 2
Yeah.
weeks doesn't seem like a lot of time, but how much can campers learn in that time frame?
Well, it's not so much, it's more the fun part of it, of being creative.
Mhm.
Everything is introduced to them. This is almost like an appetizer for continuing on to the adult program. And whether you're going to be a filmmaker or not, it's the soft skills that you come away from with filmmaking, because you collaborate, you communicate, you're given a voice, you get to create something, and then you get to see it with your family, and you have that, your whole life, you have that to share with people. So it's a powerful tool, whether you go into filmmaking or not.
Awesome.
And speaking of going into filmmaking, Caitlyn, I know that you seem very passionate about this as well. Do you want to go into film as a career, or what are you thinking right now?
Yes, I want to go into acting, but definitely whatever position I'm put in, I'm totally positive about, because I've learned so much from just a couple days in this camp, and I'm so into it, and it's so literally inspiring from what I've just learned, and how everyone is included, and everyone has, even if it's a little part, always have a big part in the long run. So you're always included, no matter what, no matter whatever you have, you're always included. So that's something I love personally.
Yeah, and I love the fact, even if it's a little part, you still have a big part. In the grand scheme of it. Joey, we definitely have to wrap up, but a couple of questions for you. Where are the summer camps this year? Okay, and is there still time to sign up? And also, how can viewers get more information about Inclusion Films workshops?
Well, this camp is Lodi Unified at McNair High School. The next one is in Livermore, California, with my partners, Futures Explored. And then the third one is going to be with Solano County, and that's going to be on Mare Island. I think they're pretty much all full up, unfortunately. But, if they go to our website, inclusionfilms.com, they can always find out more information about that.
Awesome.
For sure. Yeah, you're a popular guy, and these are popular camps. So, ladies, I wish you the best of luck with your camp, and I can't wait to see what comes out of this. Thank you all so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, Quincy, we know theater and film are super important. So is music in our lives, right? But how much do you really know about the power of music and what it can do to people? We'll find out next.